There are serious issues affecting this food system from where it comes from up to the shelf in the shop. And you can realize that there are powerful players far stronger than us. It's profit that is driving who controls the food system, not only in the Western Cape, but in the country and internationally. You can tell that there are bigger powers that are at play here. To access big land in the Western Cape, it's a dream. To buy even that kind of land, a hectare or 2 hectares, you've got to part with not less than 3-4 million rands.
When people walk up to me and say, "What do you do?" and I say, "I'm a farmer," they said, "Where do you farm? Where's the land to farm?"
You can actually produce quite a lot of food in small spaces. In an urban space where it's very difficult to access land, what about maximizing the space or the little spaces that we've got? It's either at a school or maybe a municipality-owned land in the community.
When you do finally get access or when you get permission to use that land, they will give you 5 years. 5 years is not enough. We are basically farming on the beach. We have sandy, poor soils that needs to be built. There's a whole process that goes into it.
Till that it goes down.
So when you think of farming, you don't really have to think big. You don't have to think commercial. You can have your mixed crop. You can have your 2x2. You can have your 4x4. That is a farm.
Anyone with your small backyard, just start. It doesn't take money to start, but what it takes is the desire. When the lockdown started, people like us operating from schools were locked out of the school premises. And I think the first and the second month, we couldn't access our spaces. That on its own was really devastating on our side. Can you imagine? There's no income, and then the little food that you could still access by producing from your own land, you couldn't access that. There were days that you really were stressing how we were going to get food. COVID-19 has really made us to be aware of many things, including where our food comes from or why it is critical to know what we are eating.
Our government was helping, there was aid, there was NGOs that was serving food to people, and people were getting food parcels, which is a great thing. But when you look at the food parcels, you look at what is in there. It's carbohydrates, it's fats, it's sugars. Where is all the nutritious food? So is that really food security? Are we really secured? Are we really being fed? People didn't know where to source food, and they had to rely on community kitchens. We started a whole movement. We started with maybe 1 or 2 people where I said, look, I can show you, I have the skill, I have the expertise on how you can grow your own food in your own backyard so that you can save the money to buy electricity, you can save the money to buy things that you cannot grow. Having to source seedlings, where I live in my community, there is no nursery. We have to travel, and there is no transport that actually goes to a seedling supplier, and it's a lot of money, so we can't really afford it. Through my mini nursery, I was able to even supply them with free seedlings just as a start, and with that comes education on how do you let some of them go to seed so that you're able to save your own seeds. the beauty of farming at a small scale is to be able to supply my local market. I farm what is in demand. I farm what is needed. What we wish is to have access to local and direct markets. My neighbor will take her money, or the community will take their money and go spend it at the supermarket. We don't even know where that food comes from. We want our neighbors within our community to be the first people to come and buy our produce. It's harvested now, so it's from farm to fork directly. That's the beauty of it. Food security means having access to healthy, organic, nutritious food. That is part of why I am doing what I'm doing. I get to provide my community, my family, and my household with that.
Our biggest dream is to really see Gugulethu becoming a food forest.
At the end of the day, it would be nice to reclaim our communities, turn them green, reclaim our pavements, remove the bricks. Being able to work the land, being able to put in seeds in a few beds, being able to build that soil and actually harvest and put something on the plate. That for me is small scale farming.
I saw the word how to become an urban farmer, and it caught my mind, urban farming. It means stuff my grandfather and grandmother used to do. I come in, I feed my soil, I plant my little seedling, and I see it growing into something that's edible, nutritious. Food helps the community come together, and that's what's motivating me to be here. Crime increased a lot in Ocean View due to time. I don't know if it was poverty, if it was the lack of employment, but all of that happened in time and it happened fast. You even too scared to walk around lately. It's always shooting. I was even scared to even go to a shop, but coming here, this is like a peaceful place. It's like your haven this side. Our name is Ocean View Coast Gangsters. We also Ocean View Organics. We are actually movie stars because we like 5 ladies that's doing the thing, and it's so amazing. It gets you going every day to think about ladies doing this thing.
We are co-op and we are 5 female farmers. Some of them come from very abusive backgrounds and they are finding themselves in this garden. That's why we made a plan the other day. I said, we're each gonna plant like a bed. That's your bed. And you're gonna harvest your bed. So you go home and you tell your husband, that's my stuff that I've planted and harvested. I was empty, an empty shell when I came here, but I became a sponge. I'm talking in my sleep, I'm dreaming about this place every day.
When I first planted my first broad bean and it came out, that was something to die for. I can literally see the moment still, how I felt. And I'm getting emotional because I know it feels good. What you put in, you're literally getting it out.
To work together with this team is brilliant. It's amazing because we're all here to learn and we're hungry to learn. And we do learn from one another all the time.
At the moment, we are farming at 2.2 hectares, but we intend to take over this whole schoolyard.
It belongs to Public Works. We've signed the lease and it is ours, and they gave it to the top of the field also. And for that field up there will be olive trees and potatoes. To be working on a farm in a community is such a privilege because this is a historical event in the life and times of Ocean View. Never ever 5 females, volunteers. Our first restaurant in Ocean View. It is historical. were essential, so we got a permit and we were able to work. That was such a blessing because then we still could carry on with providing for the sick kitchens and go to bed and know that people's been fed at night.
With COVID, we couldn't supply our stock to restaurants. There was minimal people that could come to the farm. And the community as well. There wasn't a lot of food. There wasn't a lot of food parcels in the community. There were times my mommy didn't work and I was the only one that actually worked. And what we got in the garden I took home and that made us a pot of food.
There's unemployment. So if you're unemployed, you don't have money to buy the food. So what we want, grow your own vegetables, it's in your garden. You won't be going to steal from somebody else.
There is like 3 new farms, small-scale household farms that we've created. We've created one at the mosque. We've got 2 at the Unsaisi, 1 at the open door for vulnerable children. So people will get fed and they will have a healthy diet. No more slap chips, no more knickknacks.
Our lifestyles have improved at home. We're not just eating anything. I'm becoming very health conscious.
I'm so in love with this farm because if you go to Pick n Pay, you don't know how your food, your produce got there, the truck, the person. Here it's just you, the harvester and the farm.
You always know what your community wants. You're interacting with your community. It's like you know what is in demand and you can grow what your community wants.
We do sell locally. It's organic and people never knew about organic. I went to the clinic one day and I said to the doctor, I would like to make a special announcement. And he said, what? And I said to him, you won't have patients anymore.
We're trying to uplift the community. We want the community deeply involved. We want the community to come to us, buy your stuff, keep the money in Ocean View.
What makes me excited is the fact that I know this place can get bigger and better.